Hi everyone, welcome to my first ever YouTube vlog. It's been a long time coming. Apologies in advance if the edit isn't very good, but bear with me, we're learning and we're here to try and save some money in the long run. As you know, some of you might follow us on Instagram already. We love to take trips to Florida. We try and get there every 2 years. But prices are going up, it's getting crazy, and we thought we would share how we save, how we get there, and our first ever time of using our Virgin Atlantic points. So first of all, there's a lot of bad feeling against credit cards. But as long as you meet your minimum payments, you pay it off in full, and you're not getting that interest added to it, the Virgin Atlantic credit card is a really good way to save for your future flights. Not just for Florida, all around the world. And this vlog isn't about our trip to Orlando. Hopefully we do one in the future. But this is about how we save our points, how we get there, and trying to help everybody get cheaper flights. So with Virgin, there's two kinds of credit cards. There's the standard, which there's no fee, and there's the Reward Plus. Now, for many years, we had the standard Virgin Atlantic credit card, and we were saving points without even realising we was doing it. It was only, I'd say, the last 2 years when I was looking into there must be a cheaper way of us getting flights. We're going every 2 years and it's getting extortionate, that I came across the Reward Plus. There is a fee of £160, but with that there's a lot more benefits than the standard. So with the standard credit card, it's 0.75 points to the pound when you're purchasing. If you purchase with Virgin Atlantic or Virgin Holidays, it's 1.5 points to the pound. Now, against the Reward Plus card, so yeah, you've got the £160 fee, but just for everyday purchases, so your shopping, your petrol, anything that you would normally pay for on your card, is 1.5 points per pound. And then if you was to book on Virgin Atlantic or Virgin Holidays, it doubles to 3 points per pound. Now, you get that just for using the card in everyday to-day life. Now, I didn't realise that there was an app called Virgin Red, which has offers to get even more points. So there's actually games on there that you can play, quizzes, etc., and you have a chance to win more points. I go on every single time that we buy something. So for instance, house insurance, car insurance, buying the boys' clothes, anything at all, I go on the Virgin Red app, check if they're on there. Not everything is on there, but most of the things you'll find. For instance, Booking.com, they're always really good deals, 10 points to the pound. Just Eats, 3 points to the pound. It varies, so check. All the information given today is as of today. So if you're watching this vlog in months or years to come, obviously check the information is still correct. But when going on there, there's different offers every month. It's so easy to get more points. You literally click on whatever you're wanting to buy from. They'll have a little link that says take me to the website. You click on that and it'll take you either to the website on Safari, or if you've got the app like Just Eats and Booking.com, it'll just open up your app on your phone. The only thing I will say is make sure that you complete your purchases before the time runs out, basically. There's been a few times when I was getting used to it that I didn't understand why I wasn't getting the points, and it was because I was putting things in my cart, forgetting about it, logging on the day after, and it had timed out. So if that is the case, go back onto your Virgin Red app, click on the link and just refresh the page. That way you know that you're going to get your points, and they normally get put into your account roughly 30 days after you receive your order. If, for instance, it's car insurance, or you've booked flights, you've booked a hotel, you do have to wait till you've been to the destination or till your policy has started. They don't give you them points within the next 30 days. So for instance, when I did my car insurance, I'm always on the ball and booked it as soon as I could. The policy has to be live. I think for it, it's at least like a direct debit or at least a month, and then Virgin Red will give you the points. And that's just so that you're not booking insurances and then cancelling them and trying to claim points. They will check that your policy is up and running, or you did go on the flight, you did go to your destination at your hotel. Now, claiming all these points, after £10,000 is spent on your card within 12 months, you get reward vouchers. Now, we have so far got 2 reward vouchers, which we've used to our flights to Orlando this year. Now, £10,000 sounds a lot, but if you're putting your petrol on there, your shopping on there, just your general purchases that you would do normally, it actually builds up. And we don't use our card just for points. We literally have got these reward vouchers just for spending that we would have spent on a debit card. So it is a good way of getting discount on your future trips. So the reward vouchers are valid for 24 months, but they reset after 12. So for instance, last year we spent the amount that you needed to be eligible for a voucher, and then this year we did exactly the same. So we got given 2 vouchers. Now we try and go away every 2 years, so hopefully we will get 2 companion seats every 2 years. And I'll go into that a little bit further because there is different options that you can select. So there's something called a club pass or clubhouse pass, which I don't know too much about, just because I don't think it would ever benefit us, because there's always about 6 or 7 of us that go in one trip. But I presume it is like a lounge pass. So if there's only 1 or 2 of you going, then great. If that's what you're into at the airport, you get that free, and the Virgin one's supposed to be a lot better than your standard lounge. Now, the other one is upgrades. So if, for instance, you book a standard seat, you can get an upgrade to premium free of charge. Same if you book premium, you can then get an upgrade to first class. Sorry, Lola's just decided to totter around. So, as I'm aware, you need to book your outbound and inbound flight at the same time to get the upgrade on both flights. I don't think you could book your outgoing flight and then 2 weeks later book your home flight and get the upgrade. It needs to be booked as a round trip. That again for us wouldn't work out unless we won the lottery. There's 6, 7 of us, so for us to upgrade, it would still cost a lot of money, and the whole point of us saving these points is to try and get our flights as low as possible. So we used our reward voucher as companion seats, and what that means is you pay for your first adult and you get a companion seat free of charge. So we paid for Ross and I went free. We then had another voucher, so we paid for Ross's dad and his mum went free, and then we paid for the boys separately. So when using your voucher as companion seats, if you fly in standard and premium, there is no points taken for your companion. If you fly upper class, then it's 50% off, which, if you can afford it, is still a really high saving. I'm going to go into a little bit of detail on how many points each person takes. It sounds like a lot, but like I said earlier, if you're using the card anyway, you can just save it up over the years and then use it when you have enough. So with the points, there's different tiers of seasons. So there's high season, mid-season and low season. And depending on when you fly, depends on how many points need to be deducted. So for instance, our outbound flight was in, I think, the mid or high. And then our coming home flight was in the low season. So when you're ready to book your flights, you just ring the Virgin Atlantic number, let them know that you would like to use your points and that you have reward seats. If, for instance, you don't have the extra voucher, you can just book online with your points. But for us, we needed to use the vouchers before they expired, because by the time we go, there isn't much time left to use them. So I basically rang and said that I've got 2 companion vouchers and I would like to use my points. And they then work it out for you. So at the time, I didn't realise that you could only book your flights 331 days before flying. So I waited until the outbound date of when I wanted to go and give them a call. Then to realise that I couldn't book my return flight. Now, with the reward seats, they only release so many per flight. So I think it's something like 8 standard seats, 4 premium and 2 upper class. They do release more towards the date that you're flying. So for instance, if the plane isn't full, they'll then release more at a discount. I didn't want to risk not having our dates available. So Ross gets told his holidays and can't change them. So we needed them dates. We're not very flexible. So I rang and booked our outgoing flight, and then 2 weeks later rang and booked our coming home flight. Just because the 6 of us, I didn't want to risk waiting 2 weeks and then them seats have gone. I didn't realise that when I was ringing back 2 weeks later to book my coming home flight, I was going to get charged for amending the booking. That wasn't made clear to me, and I did try and get that money back because it just wasn't mentioned. I thought it was a brand new booking. I didn't realise that it was a booking that was being amended. So just bear that in mind, that if you are flexible on your dates, try and book them both together. It was only £30, but that was per person. So if you think the whole reason of using your points and trying to claim all these points is to get it as cheap as possible, so it was per adult that they charged. So £120 was quite a big amount added on to what it was already costing. So our outbound flight was 22,500 points, and our coming home flight was 12,500 points. So in total, it was 35,000 points, and that was for adults and children. My little boy, when we fly, is only 1, so he will be sat on one of our laps. So he only had to give 1,000 points going and 1,000 points coming back, because he's not on a seat, he's on our knee. Whereas my other little boy, who will be 6 when we travel, because he's in his own seat, they don't discount it for age. luggage, it was the exact same amount of points deducted for him because he's in his own seat. So overall, it was 107,000 points, which sounds a lot. It took me probably about 2 years to get that, and I have been on it. I have been checking the app. I have been, if there's any offers, making sure that I go through them to get the best points. Even though the points are deducted, you still have to pay tax, and that is per person. So with the point side of things, we only had to pay for the people that wasn't a companion. So we only paid for Ross. They didn't deduct for me. We only had points deducted for his dad and not his mum, and then we had points deducted for both the boys. Whereas the tax, you still have to pay that for your companion. So it was £268 per adult, and then I had the £30 charge, so it was £298 each return flights, which is crazy. It's like a third of the price, if not more, than what we've paid in the past. For my 6-year-old little boy, he was £204, so he got that reduced because of him being a child. And then my other little boy, who's 1, he was £68, and he will be on our knee. So in total, for the 6 of us, it was £107,000 points, not pounds, deducted, and then it worked out about just under £1,500 for all 6 of us, which is crazy. It is easy to do. I understand it is a minefield at first to get to grips with saving your points, how it works, booking them. Like I said, we have an Instagram account which I'll put in the description of wherever I put it when I fathom it out. But if there's anything that you need help with, even though the account is our Florida trip, just give me a message, give us a comment on here. We're more than happy to help. Our views are genuine, we're not getting paid, it's not an ad, it's just our hobby, and we thought it's about time that we try and save money for everybody. It is a credit card, and putting it out there that only do this if you know that you can be strict, you're gonna meet your minimum payments, you're gonna pay it off in full. Otherwise, it's not worth it. Do it the way that you normally do it. But if you're like me and you're quite organised and you know that you're going to make sure that you have the money at the end of the month to pay it off anyway, it's a really good way to save for your trips. So I think I have got everything out there. I'm sorry if I've waffled, I'm sorry if I was boring. Like I said, it's our first vlog. We hope we have some more. Give us a like, a subscribe, a comment, whatever it is. We appreciate it, and I hope we do another one soon. Thank you for watching. Bye.